while back, we reported on 500,000 rounds of ammo stolen just simply off the floor at a Cabela's in Delaware. We're finally seeing that there's consequences. Now, generally speaking, if you're robbed, I don't think there should be consequences that you're robbed. But this is very different, and this is something we kind of touched on the last time we talked about this. But the reason they need to be punished is because of this hands-off approach that many stores in our nation have, where if you walk into a store and you just pick up a product, you just walk out the door with it. And nobody's going to stop you because of this hands-off approach. Somehow it's better just to let you rob us than it is to try to stop you from robbing us. We see this everywhere. We see it at Home Depot, we see it at Walmart, and we see it at Cabela's. And because of this awful, ridiculous hands-off approach of stealing ammo, you know, it's one thing to walk into Walmart and you see people walking out with like 55-inch televisions and just walking on out. Nobody's doing a darn thing about it. So apparently the Attorney General of Delaware agrees. They are now prosecuting Cabela's for this, and they should. But ammo's very different because I believe what most people do with the goal of the hands-off approach is that they're trying to protect the employees. They don't want to put that on them. But the employees shouldn't be securing that either. Who should be securing it is some sort of security. If you have a problem with ammo being stolen, you should have armed security at your location, simply because when you're stealing ammo, you're stealing arms. You're stealing ammunition, this ability to then use it against citizens out in the world. So if your goal is to protect the people, you've completely crossed the line into the wrong direction. And I want to just take a moment and speak to this idea that we have to put an end to this hands-off approach in America. You know, I spent a little time in New York City last year, and you walk into a pharmacy and there's nothing on the shelves. And you ask, well, where's all your product? They said, it's just been stolen. People just walk in, they grab whatever they want, and they walk out with it. And as a result, what you have is you have the citizens not being able to buy their basic needs in that neighborhood because of this silly hands-off approach. And it's not just this idea from the stores, it's also, to many degrees, the police and the laws. There's these laws revolving mostly in the Northeast and in California, Oregon. Well, I guess the East and West Coast both have this idea that if you commit a robbery, that you can just not post bail, not have a problem, just there's nothing. You just get like a ticket. And I want to kind of bring up New York for a second because I was looking into the laws of carrying there because, of course, I want to carry everywhere I go. And what I discovered in New York was that if I was a citizen walking around with a gun on me with my family, and there's this stop and frisk law there, you know, and they stop and they frisk me and they find a gun, I could get up to 25 years in prison. But if I take that gun and I go rob somebody with it, I walk into a store and I hold them up and I rob them with it, I don't even got to post bail. Like, I'm going to get like some sort of a ticket and a fine. It's just absurd. So in other words, if I'm a normal citizen, I get 25 years, but if I commit a felony with it, it's just okay. And this is that idea of this hands-off approach, because Cabela's should be punished for that. They should be punished for 500,000 rounds. Because it didn't take place just in one moment. It took place over months. Slowly and slowly, 500,000 rounds of ammo is stolen. And guess where it's at? It's on the streets of the Northeast part of this country. 500,000 rounds. This hands-off approach is one of the worst things I've ever seen. It is only causing destruction. And if I was a thief, I would find this fantastic. I'd find this great. If I was thinking about robbing a store before and I kind of had my doubts, I'd for sure do it now, because what's going to happen? Nothing at all. Even if the cops come, nothing. So there you go. Any thoughts or insight on that? Definitely put that below. I do want to take a moment and say most people that watch this channel are not subscribers to this channel. please take a moment, hit that subscribe button. It's free and it greatly increases the algorithm and our ability to get our message out. That link is below. But by far, the most important part of this channel is we take prayer requests. So please don't ever hesitate to send that in. Thank you for watching this episode of God, Family, and Guns. And as always, love God, love your family, and love guns.